connecting to the internet.
Internet.
Networking software.
World Wide Web thing on a computer today.
Computer.
NetSurfer Pro.
All right, class, settle down. As you know, because this is the course you signed up for, this is Meme Economy 101. I am your teacher. You can call me Matt. And, let's see, where do we begin? I guess just open your notebooks to page 69. Yes, no chuckles. That is obviously the reason it starts on page 69 is because it's funny. That's the meme. It's a textbook about memes. All right, so we're going to... Yes?
Hi, this is Galen.
Galen?
I'm a student in your class.
Yeah, of course. You didn't have to explain that. We all know that's true.
I'm looking through all the pages here. So my copy, pages 1 to 68 are just blank.
Yes.
Like I expected they would at least be table of contents or something, but it's just blank.
Yes.
Okay.
Those are actually notes to make your own memes in.
Oh, I see.
You know how some books will have like a notes page on the back of the book?
Yeah, I know that my PS2 instruction booklets will always have that.
Right.
I don't think any human being has ever used.
I know, right? That's the most unrealistic part of Tunic. Of course, we won't be talking about Tunic until chapter 12, when we start talking about video games.
Yes, and yeah, of course. Sorry to interrupt class, of course.
All right, now, of course, now that we've seen the table of contents, we can open your textbooks to page 420. No, this was not a... Yes, Galen?
Teacher. On page 69, it has all of the table of contents in, I think that's size 4.5 fonts, and then it's just... There's 418 total blank pages in this book. Why did I pay this much for this textbook?
It is not a scam by the textbook companies. I've talked to them. They said it's part of the joke. I can only assume in good faith that it is part of the joke, and it is not a way to milk even more money.
Do you know...
I am seeing no money from this, by the way.
Do you know how much this textbook cost me? It cost me $1,337.
And with that is the and scene.
Yep.
All right. Yep.
I did just shit myself. Well, there you go. And
yes. So this is, of course, NetSurfer Pro, a whirlwind ride through the World Wide Web. I am your host, Matt, and with me is, as always,
Galen. And today it's almost kind of my episode, in
almost.
a sense. But you know what? Before we get into the main topic, I want to bring up this is strange. This is like the anti-state of the meme. Like I guess you're gonna have to play
the meme of the state. I don't want to know anything about the meme of the state.
Yeah, I'm not watching any propaganda. I guess play the state of the meme intro like backwards or something.
Ooh, creepy.
So, okay, I want to talk about a real topic real quick that is funny, but is not exactly a meme. I think it's on the cusp of memehood, and it's going to get sort of memed into the ground. But I have really good news. We can talk about Activision Blizzard again.
Oh, God. Oh, yes! I know exactly what this is!
So, a memo... or an internal document, I think, leaked.
It wasn't an internal document. It was a press release about a tool they are marketing to other companies.
Oh, it's even worse
You
than
heard
I
that,
thought.
right? Yeah.
Oh my god. So, Activision Blizzard is marketing a tool to other companies to help them create diverse characters. Now, you might be wondering, well, what is this tool, if you haven't seen it? So... You know those, web pages that's what is your... Those, randomized,
no. Here's what it is. If you play a fighting game, there are fighting games like Guilty Gear Strive, where after a match, it'll tell you, how good your offense was, your defense, your mobility, your meter usage, and it's plotted out on, a hexagon, right?
Yeah.
So you can see, ooh, I'm lacking in my mix-ups, but I'm doing a really good job at avoiding taking damage.
Alternatively, in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, when they would show a stand's, like, strength and versatility and, like, potential, and again, it would be that hexagon that would, like, have, various, like, spikes and dips. It's that, but for diversity.
Yeah.
Like, there is a coefficient for, like, what culture the character is from, what race the character is, what gender the character is. Like, and... Okay. Explaining this, it should be self-evident what's wrong. But just to put words to these specifics, these are concepts that you cannot quantify.
Yeah, so obviously diversity is very good.
Yes.
We need to be clear about that.
Yeah, we are 100% pro-diversity. Like, we need more voices in video games and more characters in video games that are of different genders.
Like, shouts out to Rick Riordan, by the way, for, like, casting specifically a black woman to play Annabeth.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, he wanted that. That was his decision. Good job.
It is always good to
honestly,
cast
just shouts out to Rick Riordan in general.
Hey, Rick Riordan, come on the show. We'll give you a good pat on the back.
We'll gas you up.
Yeah. But like, we are 100% pro-diversity. There should be more voices, more characters, more, like, characters voiced by, the gender or the race or whatever they are. No more Scarlett Johanssons. So, like, that is good. The problem with the Activision Blizzard method is that you cannot quantify. It's trying to, like, literally solve the problem of, like, creating more diverse things. Like,
it's engineering a solution to something that can't be engineered through mathematics or computer science.
Yes.
It's such a tech bro thing to be like, we can use computer science to fix this problem.
Yeah.
When it's completely a, like, emotional, qualitative problem.
Yeah, it's like, okay. Let's just use an example real quick. Just randomly. Okay. I have two characters here. One of them is a woman, one of them is non-binary. So, like, if we are theoretically playing in this headspace, theoretically the non-binary character is probably more quote-unquote diverse.
It's rarer.
Yeah, it's rarer, so therefore it would have a higher gender coefficient. Okay, one of them is Puerto Rican, and one of them is Zambian. So, like, deal with this, white people.
Yeah.
What are you going to do to be like, you see, the Zambian is actually more rare.
You don't understand. Lucio has, like, less culture than, like, Farah or something.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like, literally, it's fucked up.
If we're like
Torbjorn has zero culture because he's Swedish.
Like, that's the other thing. Like, if we're going, like, okay, like, are we going by, like, rarity? Because, like, if we're going by rarity, then theoretically zero culture, or, like, zero race would be Indian, because they are, if I remember correctly, the, like, largest literal ethnic group with over a billion people, or maybe Chinese.
It's rarity in video games is, I think, the concept.
That's more fair, but that still is kind of like...
Yeah, it's still... Yeah. The fact is that they are assigning points to things that are not... Like, it's inherently racist in the system they've created to rank things below or above other things.
Yeah.
Like... It's not just that they're saying these are less diverse or less rare. It's that they're saying these are less diverse and thus less valuable to our point buy system.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you have 20 points to build a character. No, this is a lot like Yick, where it's something that everyone can agree sucks.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny.
It's pure gamer centrism. It's so good because it's like
nobody wanted this.
Yeah, the telltale like thing is popping up and saying everybody hates that, or maybe Fallout. Post in the comments which reference I'm making.
Everybody hated that. I thought it was Mass Effect.
one or the other, honestly.
What if it was Skyrim? Okay,
So,
no,
yeah,
yeah. It's pretty fucked up, pretty stupid.
Here is the only thread I will give it. I have seen a take, and I don't really agree with it. And even the guy who was making it was kind of like, this probably isn't it. But the only thing I could see from this is like some group of people in a company was like, hey, we want more diverse characters, and the head of marketing was like, until you have mathematic proof that this is a good thing, we're not going to stray from course. And so in that really narrow instance, it's like I can see it as
very specific example.
I can see exactly that, where it's like, yeah, unless you put numbers to it, some tech bro startup is like, what are you talking about? We got a girl character with big boobs, man. That's fine enough. That's diverse enough. Oh wait, our diversity coefficient is low. Oh shit.
But also, this is a product they are selling to other companies.
Yeah.
This is something your company could invest in.
Yeah.
And use to create results.
And that's where it loses me. Where it's like, I could see that being entirely an internal thing that got exposed. But no, this is a product that is being advertised. Also, I'm sorry. Okay, we'll stop talking about this. I'll stop rambling about this. But I'm sorry. Is Activision Blizzard really the one who has the right to say right now, buy our product and we'll make things more diverse?
Oh, well, that's the thing, is apparently they were caught union busting fairly recently. So this is their attempt at getting good publicity, but it's actually just stoked the fire even more.
Oh my god.
Good job. Very bang up job.
Wow, Ethan. Good job. Proud of you. Keep it up.
Yeah.
I
was joking with a friend of mine who previously was a guest on this show that it feels like a cringe comedy bit, like a Nathan For You bit. All right, how would you rank this character on this scale? And it's like a race scale. It's something you would do to put somebody in a trap.
Yeah. What's Winston's ethnicity coefficient?
Exactly.
It's just, oh my god.
Monkey.
Yeah, well, how does the fucking hamster stack up on this, huh? He's Australian, so that's, a 2 of
you don't see many
nationality.
hamster main characters. Actually, oh no, you probably see more monkeys than hamsters.
No, yeah, definitely you see more monkey.
More monkey.
Monkeys.
I think that's what Greedo said when he got shot. Mahunky.
Speaking of culture,
yes.
So
yeah.
So okay, now then we're getting back into the meme zone.
The actual episode. So today we have a really interesting episode because it's not like a deep dive into a specific piece of work of entertainment or something, or a subculture or anything. It's more of a super broad overview of a concept that we have kind of referenced a lot, and that is central to our podcast, but we haven't really defined or gone into the specifics of, which is just, what are memes and how are they used?
Yeah.
We call this the meme economy because a lot of times the way memes are used is in a similar way to goods, in that they have a value that is determined both by the quantity of them, the availability, the freshness of them, their utility to people, in that memes are traded much in the same way goods are, via contact.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other lenses to look at this. Obviously, we're not well trained, I don't know, sociologists or whatever.
Yeah, this would definitely be the kind of thing where if we were a Real Man's podcast, we would have a sociologist on the show to be like, Well, we can trace the origin of this back to the first joke ever told by a Sumerian.
Oh, like Kilroy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so Kilroy is the first meme. So we should start off with just literally the word meme, I think.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting, actually, the history of it.
This is going to be a history lesson that, like, if you're someone who likes memes, is probably going to kind of like groan and go like, oh, this lesson again. But the origin is really important to know, and especially for like a younger audience who really just kind of knows the product and not like the origin. It's like really important to sort of go back to it.
Yeah. So the word meme was coined by Richard Dawkins, the enlightened one.
Yeah.
To just sort of describe ideas that are culturally passed down much in the same way genes are. Whereas a gene is a physical trait that is passed down to generations, memes are more like thoughts or ideas or mental traits or like culture that is passed down. It has a pretty broad definition in this sense. Like, traditions are memes in that regard. I don't know how much else I can really define it beyond that, you know?
Yeah, okay. A good example of, like, a meme in the literal pure sense, the actual memetic sense. If you think of the culture of Americana, like 1950s Americana, the idea of, like, a hamburger is essentially a meme. Like, the idea of, you know, a great American burger with that perfect bun, that perfect meat, like, the concept of, like, you know, a drive-in, like, a drive-through where you get a hamburger in a bag, and you're driving a convertible. Like, that is the kind of, like, granular ideas that memes present. Like, that's the sort of level of, you know, DNA, essentially.
Yeah, famously Hideo Kojima called them the DNA of the soul in Metal Gear Solid 2.
Technically, Platinum Games did, but...
No, Metal Gear Solid 2 was Kojima. And
oh, wait, yeah, no.
You're thinking of Revengeance, which also has memes.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting how both those games are about using memes as propaganda.
Yeah. I genuinely, very genuinely, I am going to, like, name 3, like, of the most important, I think, just kind of like little capsules of meme, like, culture, like internet meme culture, and Metal Gear Solid 2 is one of them. But we'll get to that in a sec. We'll get to that when we talk about internet memes. But the idea of memes as, like, you know, the, like, 1 ounce of culture. So you mentioned Kilroy. Kilroy is like the oldest example of an internet meme, in a sense.
Yeah.
So what Kilroy is, you've almost certainly seen the little figure. It's like a little guy with a droopy nose looking over a ledge.
A little fella.
A little fella.
Yeah. This was painted onto, like, ships during World War II.
Yeah. And, like, the joke was, you know, Kilroy was here. And it's like, who's Kilroy? It's that little fella, and he was here. Like, it's, you know, it's the most prime example of, like, just this little thing in culture that was created, and then popularized, and then expanded, and then kind of, like, expanded past whatever its original meaning was.
Right, yeah. A meme in the current sort of era is more related to that, an idea that has sort of expanded and is, like, understood by many people, though it is not necessarily a tangible thing. A meme is more of an in-joke or a, like, movement societally, or like a behavior or action, or a piece of fiction or a work of media that is commonly spread to a large degree among people in a community of some sort. This is a very broad net to catch. This might not be the best definition necessarily, but in essence, it is a thought that is spread between people in that sort of sense. It's not necessarily an important thing, and most memes nowadays are kind of linked to the connotation of humor. Like, an internet meme is usually supposed to be funny. I think, you know, there are internet memes that are not funny, not in terms of a personal sense, but in terms of their actual utility and purpose.
Yeah.
There's shocking memes.
Yeah.
A lot of shocking memes.
A lot of early internet was kind of like just shock images, essentially.
Goatsy being the big one. Don't
Yeah.
look it up.
Don't look it up. Honestly, if you're going to look up any one of them, Goatsy is the most tame, genuinely.
Yeah.
But still probably don't.
Still don't. Yeah.
Not if you're 18 plus, at least. Or not if you're not 18 plus.
Yeah.
Kids only.
No!
I want that stricken for the record.
Yeah. Yeah. So, when we talk about this, I think there's a bit more of a specific way I can define the two types of current meme. I think most memes nowadays, that as we know them as like internet memes, come in two sort of main forms, which are primary and auxiliary. This is something I'm putting forth.
Yes.
I've never heard this spoken. This is my thing. I've coined it. So primary memes are the main idea of a meme. It is like something where the concept of it or the image of it is the meme. Some examples include a character like Sans, Undertale, or Shrek. Something like a song could be a meme, like All Star or Take On Me, you know, a noun, essentially.
Yeah.
And these, essentially, primary memes are like, when people talk about a meme with a specific name, if it's a primary meme, that name is just the thing, if that makes sense. Like, when people say, like, Millhouse is a meme, that's not a good example. Hold on.
Yeah. God, Millhouse is an old example.
When people say, like, Sans is a meme, you know, it's the character Sans. There's not, like, an extended piece of Sans that is abstracted from the character himself. The character is just a meme.
Yeah.
Things like Despacito, there are other memes associated with it that are not necessarily the song, but the song itself is a major part of the meme. Yeah, so then the other one is auxiliary memes, which are secondary to a separate idea. These are often in the form of like formats or templates, where people edit something to present a separate idea. So, for example, there's a lot of these with labels, where people will label something. A pretty classic one is the distracted boyfriend, where it's like a guy walking with a girl and he turns around at another girl. And people will label these as like, you know, it's like something they have and then they're looking at something else. This is like, the distracted boyfriend is not the idea that is being put forth. It's not the main topic. The main topic is something else that somebody is jealous of.
So I would like to build off of this, if you will.
Okay.
I would contend that a lot of early internet memes, if we are using this framing, were essentially entirely auxiliary memes.
I think most of the early ones were primary memes.
Okay.
Things like Ceiling Cat, LOL What.
Yeah, okay. I did... yeah, no, I'm a little too far forward. So yeah, a lot of primary memes in the early times, like Ceiling Cat, a lot of your Rage comics,
Rage comics are really interesting, actually. I'll get to those in a second. Put that to the side.
Little pin in Rage comics, putting it on a board.
Yeah, things like Gutsman's Ass are a lot of early YouTube poops. Over 9,000?
God,
that is
yes.
a primary meme. It itself is the reason you click on the meme. It is the idea that you get from it.
But then from these memes, you would then get a lot of image macros, or which is your, you know, Can I Has Cheeseburgers, your Bad Luck Brian's, your Good Guys Greg,
So those are really interesting. The like advice animals, the top text, bottom text stuff.
Yeah.
Because those were both characters with a sort of agreed upon canon and a format. I think it's different from something like a label meme, because a lot of label memes, the image alone tells you everything about it. So like the comic of the guy who's riding a bicycle and he puts like a bar in the wheels, you know, and then he falls over.
Yeah.
Which I guess is the same thing as Eric Andre shooting Hannibal.
Yeah.
Like both of those, you don't need to know anything about like the Eric Andre show to know what the image is trying to convey. Whereas a lot of advice animals, you had to know who the character was. Like Bad Luck Brian doesn't look like a guy with bad luck. He just looks like a kind of a dork, you know.
Yeah. Good Guy Greg looks like kind of a nice guy, but like you have to get the joke of him like asking for your cell phone before pushing you in a pool or something, which I think was an image that I saw that was Good Guy Greg combined with the douchebag one.
Mm-hmm. And that's where Rage comics are so interesting to me, is because half the time the characters were as important or more important than what the format was trying to convey.
Oh.
So,
no,
like,
I see.
so, like, yeah, you had, like, the troll face, you know?
Yeah.
It's a guy who trolls people. And sometimes the center of it would be the act of trolling that is being committed. Like, you know, some sort of prank he pulls. But other times, Trollface himself is the point of the meme. It's not it's a Trollface meme where Trollface the character does something.
Yeah, it's so like I want to use a small modern context, I guess. Mm-hmm. In this sort of example to give you an idea of why this is a primary meme. If there was like a rage comic nowadays that was like, it smells like Ligma in here, and then character 2 goes, "What's Ligma?" and then the third panel is just a picture of the troll face. Like, that is essentially the style of kind of like a modern meme, but like using, you know, these old fucking characters. And so like that's the idea presented, is like, you have to be aware that Mr. Trollface Man is kind of a stinker in order to get the joke.
It's also like, so Trollface just looks kind of like a guy who's grinning all smugly. So like, if you're reading a comic where he does a little prank or something, you're like, oh, that's a funny face. But you have something like Meme Run, which was a video game where you play as Trollface. He doesn't do any trolling in the game, but he's a recognizable meme character.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like, he is present there just as a character who is a meme.
I mean, this is kind of where you get to like the attempting to abstract them into their own character that sort of failed, is like, you know, it works, and I'm putting heavy air quotes around works, my own personal opinion, of course. I was also 13, I also really liked Rage comics, but it works only insofar as, like, the character is a blip on a screen. It's an idea present in a random comic, but the moment you try and, like, make, you know, like, the moment that you try to have, like, the meme rap battles of Animeme, or like, you know, the meme show bit presented by Yotam Perel. Like, the moment that you do that kind of weird corporatization of it, it just kind of falls apart. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, these aren't characters. You know, these are not like beings in and of themselves.
Right. So, primary and auxiliary memes are kind of... It's really important, I think, to look at memes that way in terms of seeing how their impact is and how they last. There's definitely a lot of primary memes that have stood the test of time, but most of those are things that were... They have substance outside of just internet meme culture. So, like, Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up, is a pretty good song. It has become its own meme in a lot of ways, including like Rick rolling people, linking people to it instead of something else and pretending it's a different link as just like a gotcha. But like, that's not the only thing involved in the meme.
Yeah.
There's also, you know, just other songs. A lot of times these are very popular, like Shrek has All-Star. Shrek is a character who's very evergreen because the movie is just pretty good. So there's a lot of primary memes that have stood the test of time. Sometimes they're like nostalgia, like whenever the Laser Collection got pretty big again recently around the time of the new Spider-Man movie because Doc Ock is in it. And like, that's more just, it's come back because of nostalgia rather than the meme being present.
Yeah.
But a lot of primary memes are the ones that kind of die out of popularity quicker. I think that's because they have less versatility than like auxiliary memes. Take, for example, the Drake preference meme. That's like pretty old now.
But it's still a pretty popular format because it's really easy to format it.
Yes. It's very easy to convey. So I should actually back this up a bit and go over why memes took off. Obviously, the internet was its own sort of ecosystem at first, with a lot of websites being their own smaller ecosystems. And memes at that point were mostly just in-jokes that people had. Like, a lot of the something awful memes that have become essential to internet culture started just on those boards. Because it was just people on the boards making an in-joke.
Yeah.
But I think what's really key to all of this is how media creation works in the current day and age. Memes take advantage of the fact that a picture is worth more than 1,000 words, as far as, like, memes people make, because, like, there's such an abundance of access to editing software, whether it's, like, Paint or GIMP or a cracked copy of Photoshop or whatever, video editing software, audio editing software. You know, Audacity is a great free program, except for that weird thing that I don't remember if anything happened because of it or not, with the being bought out.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, because of the access to editing software, people are able to not only make images that they can express themselves with, but remake other images in a remix sort of way. And I think that's why memes as a, like, image macro or a, you know, an editing style, something like that, why those picked up.
Yeah.
Rage comics were only just made in MS Paint and copy-pasting the faces. That made it super accessible for anybody to do, and they were able to use that either for, like, you know, just storytelling or for, like, conveying parts of their life. In a lot of those template memes, the auxiliary memes where people just label things, those are often more about relatability than they are about just being outright funny.
Yeah. You don't usually have a Drake meme because it's like pizza with cheese. It's something like, you know, going to sleep at a healthy time. No thanks. Watching a 6-hour documentary about iCarly? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's that kind of like hashtag relatable humor.
Yeah. So memes in terms of things that you share with other people to express something are, like, invaluable forms of expression because they combine a lot of different things to tell a complex idea very quickly. In that case, you don't have to say, I prefer this over this. You just take your images of Drake, put 2 other images there, and, like, whoever's reading it understands how that macro is meant to be, like, taken, what it means, and then they can understand your point without having to read an actual word. When we talk about the meme economy, there is a very specific example of this that I think really put forth the idea of memes being an economic good, and it's not monkeys. Get the fuck out, those aren't memes. It's Pepe.
Oh my god,
So,
yeah.
Okay, just a disclaimer about Pepe. I personally don't think Pepe is a symbol of the alt-right anymore. I think it has been reclaimed.
Yeah.
Because there are so many Twitch streamers with Pepe emotes that are good people. Like, Germa has Pepe emotes enabled. Vinny has Pepe emotes enabled. I say they're good people. I don't know them IRL. But they have not had alt-right, like, words spoken by them.
Yeah, these are people who would not, like, who, while not necessarily, like, family friendly, are still kind of, like, cultivate an air of, like, wholesomeness.
Not even just wholesomeness, but, like, they are not...
Positivity, in a sense.
No, they're just not racist or sexist or anything, or
That's
homophobic. They're inclusive.
Yes.
And so I feel like Pepe is being reclaimed. It is being fought against, and I think there are some things that are a bit more sus than Pepe, like Peepo. I think Peepo's more sus than Pepe.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm
fair,
serious about
like,
that.
You know what? You're allowed. That
Regular
makes a lot of
Pepe
sense.
is a bit more okay than Peepo. But so, Pepe, before it got to that point, it was a frog. And it was on 4chan, and that's how it got to that point. But before it got to that point of being a political figure, sort of, Pepe was just a frog with funny faces.
Yeah.
And what is interesting about Pepe is the rare Pepe concept.
Yes.
So people would make variants of Pepe to post. It wasn't just Pepe sweating and, like, looking, like, nervous. It wasn't just Pepe doing a big smile or, you know, looking pleased. People made, like, weird versions of Pepe. Like, they would remake him in, like, pizza, or they would, like, make him a little wizard or stuff like that. Nowadays, people try to make those into new Pepe characters, like Peepo, or the mouse Pepe. But Pepe was just, like, remade in several different forms. And people would post these as reactions to stuff, except sometimes there were rare Pepes, which were, like, like the wizard one. It was like this really cool Pepe that took a lot of work to remake. It wasn't just a basic paint job. It was like a lot of effort in Photoshop or something, or like a skilled illustrator worked on it. And they were rare because they were both required a lot of effort to make, having, taken time and effort to develop, and not many people had it. But once somebody posted a rare Pepe, if it was in a big enough thread, the Pepe would lose value. People would freak out about the Pepe economy crashing. And that is where the meme economy starts, it is a recognition of memes require effort to make, and effort is good because it means somebody put their heart and soul into it. Obviously, you don't need to be good at something to make something good. By the way, that's just something fun, I should say. You don't need to be good at something to make something good.
I like that.
But rare Pepes are that. They're also rare because not many people have them.
Yeah.
Even though you can right-click and save it, which everybody would do, they still have value. And this isn't about monkeys.
Yeah, again. This is the good version of monkeys.
Yeah, because everybody could take a Pepe. From that point on, its value was more in terms of personal value and utility.
This is like
the value
memes
almost are given is due to rarity, utility, a few other things probably. But
yeah, this is like almost a precursor to like this pick goes hard.
Yeah. So through this, there is sort of this idea that not only do memes have value, but there is a marketplace of memes in which the availability, uniqueness, and freshness of memes is judged. That it is better for something to be unique, fresh, and lesser known, indie maybe, underground, than it is to be widespread and old.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of meme culture can also be traced with that lens. So, let's talk about January memes.
Yeah, so January memes suck.
And I think January memes are a historically great example of looking at memes through this lens. Remember Spaghetti?
Yeah, remember Spaghetti? Remember Ugandan Knuckles?
Remember whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, I feel like Whoa hasn't stood the test of time, but if it pops up again, I'm not like angry. I'm like, oh, I remember that. That's like an old friend. But the January is always such a like weird, dumb year or dumb part of the year. January is a dumb year. January is always a weird, dumb part of the year where like the old memes are still on their way out and people are still trying to figure out what the identity of the new year is. And so they're just never really great. Big Chungus, like, I would argue, hasn't really, like...
Okay, Big Chungus has gone boomeranged back around, if you will.
Yeah.
Into
like,
being ironically good.
Yeah,
because of how
exactly.
bad it is.
Big Chungus only really came back because of that sort of... That irony poisoning.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, definitely at the start of it, like, at the start of Big Chungus, a lot of it was kind of like, it's Big Chungus. Why is it funny? Because it's Big Chungus. But what is Big Chungus? Big Chungus.
No, see, I was there for the start of Big Chungus before it blew up. Yeah, I knew Big Chungus before it was cool. And, like, it was funny for a little bit. Just like, oh, it's a funny picture of Bugs Bunny. People are like, they're calling him Big Chungus, and that's a funny word. At the time, it was a funny word because it was new and fresh.
Yeah.
But more people rolled with it. It became more popular. It became, like... such a present thing. People started making songs about it, which is when you know the meme has gone too far.
You're not wrong.
And it just kind of stopped being funny at some point. But it was pretty quick because people were so ready to latch onto it. And like January memes, like you said, they come at the start of a year because people are looking for the new year meme. It's a new year. They want something new. They want to be the ones on the ground floor. They want to be ready for that startup. They want to be the ones to get invested early on. They want to be able to sell it later at a higher price. It's not about monkeys. But here's something interesting. All of those that you said are primary memes.
You're not wrong. Yeah, because, like, what is the format of a Ugandan Knuckles? There isn't one.
Yeah, they had very limited utility or versatility because the joke was just, this is a funny looking character, but it was just kind of a one-note character. You know?
Honestly,
David S.
arguably,
Pumpkins is funnier than Ugandan Knuckles.
like, arguably the ultimate January meme, which was the Ever Given, when Boat got stuck, is, like, also itself just a primary meme. It was just a boat that got stuck. There is no format to Boat Stuck.
You know it's gone too far when Merryweather makes a comic about it. Yeah.
So,
And so these are, like I said, another part of it that makes it feel like an economy is when there is something new, there's a gold rush for people to capitalize off of it. And they're not really making money, it's just like more of a social value of comedy and relatability and lulls. I mean, maybe they're making money through like clicks and links and sponsorship deals and selling lamps that make a little tree on your wall.
yeah, you're making Twitter money. You're making money because someone goes, I'll pay you $50 to tweet about this little hologram thing.
Yeah. But like, as a thing to then be shared with other people, it starts to lose its value. Compared to something like, I don't know, like, you know, there's definitely like always more template memes being made, but I still see old ones and the new ones. Like, I always loved, the like Shadow of the Colossus one, where it's like something super looming.
Yeah.
But it's like me playing a Game Boy in bed, my mom when it's 9:05 p.m.
Yeah.
Where it's something that like should not be that intimidating.
I like the one where it's like the smaller figure is presenting something, and it's like, my dog, a random stick, me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would also, I also just had another thought, which is that I feel like the primary and auxiliary memes could also explain not just January memes, but also like character memes, like your like Bowsette, you know, like it did the rounds, and you know still comes back every now and again, but like the joke is just sort of that it's a sexy Bowser lady.
It's a sexy Bowser.
And so the comedy is in sort of recognizing, hey, I want to fuck that Bowser, which is insane, because like I thought everyone, like every normal person wants to fuck Bowser normally, right?
True.
He's the best. He's like the best video game dad. But
You lost your train of thought. You were too lost in the Bowser fantasy.
sorry, I was just thinking about Bowser. However, every once in a while, you do get a primary meme that goes back into an auxiliary meme. I feel like this might be a weird example. I feel like the musical example of this could be something like, honestly, something like your Rickroll, or maybe something like Granddad, whereby, like, obviously the primary meme is the clip of Joel saying Granddad, Flintstones, but the format then kind of like takes a hold after years and years and years.
Yeah, so this is sort of, I don't know if I'd want to call it an auxiliary meme or something else. It's like a parasitic meme or a mirror meme.
Yeah.
Loss is the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
Where
Loss is the prime example.
It's a primary meme in that the joke is the thing itself. It's Loss or it's Granddad. But it is done so in many different formats. And the format itself isn't a meme, but the concept being like primary memes aren't often found in that same way.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes there are, but like you don't see people hiding Shrek in images, but people hide Loss in images.
Yeah.
And there isn't there is a Loss format, but the format of Loss is not necessarily a format used to convey something else, but it is a format that is shown through other things.
Then there are, so I feel, yeah.
It's like a reverse meme.
It's sort of an emem. It's a neen.
Yeah, it's a neen.
Gonna have to explain that lore.
Or maybe it's a wee wee. Wee.
Well, no, the A's would be upside down, so it's a wah-wah.
Wow, holy shit, we found out! So that's what that place sells.
So, it could be, I feel like it's an example where it could be both. The thing that pops to mind is the, like, can you give me X For Y purpose, yes, actually Z, like a boss. That was a format that existed for a hot second. Pops up every now and again, like you do. But the prime example of this being one where it's like, hey, Evolution, can you give me pattern recognition? To
evade predators.
Yes, and then the last image is the last image of loss, and
Yeah.
the joke is that it is in fact loss.
Yeah.
So it's like it uses an auxiliary meme to tell a primary meme.
Lost continues to be one of my favorite memes of all time. It's
Lost-
a top 5 meme.
Loss is basically like, I feel like loss is going to exist past like humanity.
Yeah.
When in much the same way that like we have, things that we've like Viking runes that we tried to decode for decades, and then we decoded it and it was like, look how high I am, or like Dave was
Inisir
here.
gave me the wrong fucking copper.
Yeah, exactly. In the exact same way that we have things like that, where like we have these great mysteries that turn out to just be kind of humans being humans, our forebearers are like going to see the quintessential loss format and wonder what it meant as like, this random youth token, this random youth rune, and then find out that it's actually about a random internet comic. I want to admit something really terrible about Loss.
Uh-oh.
So, the whole thing of Loss is that it's from Control-Alt-Delete, which is a video game webcomic that many times was even to this day is derided for using too many fucking words to tell its jokes. I always thought it was a little clever to have like the one serious comic have zero text.
That's fair.
I'm not going to say that Loss is a good comic. It isn't, for multiple reasons. And Control-Alt-Delete is not, this is not my stereotypical H-Bomber guy. This is actually genius and here's why. But, like...
He actually did a video on Control-Alt-Delete.
I know he did, which is great. But, like, if that idea was applied to any other thing, like if a better comic artist did something like that, it would be really, really cool.
It makes sense in practice.
Yeah.
Or in theory, rather. It makes sense from a conceptual and like from an authorship standpoint to do that for that comic.
Yeah.
What gets me every time is the faces are the exact same faces Tim Buckley always has.
Yes. It's the same exact fucking format of face.
Okay, we're not gonna go on another tangent. We
yeah.
can't.
We can't. Meme economy. So,
yes.
The meme as an economy.
So, I wanted to talk about meme factories, which is a good way to... So, here's the next thing. We've talked about how to look at previous memes. How do you look at future memes? The answer is memes come from sources, but they're often because, like, they're an in-joke, So, like, 4chan and Something Awful were very, very early meme factories. Places that produce a lot of memes, and they produce them at a pretty regular frequency. Nowadays, usually this is in the form of, like, content creators who have huge followings. Take, for example, any of the Vinesauce members, especially Vinny and Joel, Germa, Oni Plays.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Whoa was an Oni Plays meme. The Crash Bandicoot Whoa. Same with 419004903.
Oh my god, that was an Oni Plays meme?
Yeah.
I did not actually know that one. That's
Siva
great.
Gunner is oftentimes itself a meme factory, even though it does play off a lot of existing memes. I don't think Granddad would have been as popular of a meme, or MM2 would, especially.
Yes.
If it wasn't for Siva Gunner. So, yeah, follow meme factories like that. I mean, I think people do have a tendency to get tired of memes coming from somewhere. The big thing is, I think, Germa memes.
Yes.
People are starting to get tired of Germa memes because there's so many of them so often.
Yeah, I feel like Germa memes and like Germa as a person, kind of Germa as a content creator is almost sort of the epitome of the like decay rate of memes, whereby people make these stupid jokes specifically about Germa because he's such a greatly memeable individual, but he's the Tony Hawk of memes.
Yeah.
And it's funny when people don't know who Germa is, because he's such a potent meme factory. He's the sus face guy. He's the guy with the dump truck.
Yeah.
But, like, at the same time, it's like, you know, a new Germa meme will pop in and then immediately die within, like, you know, a week. My favorite example being when there was a Tumblr post that was like, imagine if the next if you woke up and the newest meme was "you do not want to be this guy," and it was a picture of your face, and then, you know, someone immediately responded, "This is just Germa," to which people then started making that exact meme.
Yeah. So I think the thing about meme factories is that sometimes it starts to become a forced meme. And this is a term you'll hear a lot in meme communities, is a forced meme, which is simply that memes can't be intentionally made to be a meme. And I mentioned Millhouse earlier.
Yes.
And this is the heart of Millhouse. So Millhouse is not a meme. Millhouse is not a meme is not a meme. Or is it a meme? It's not. So Millhouse is a meme where it was a picture of Millhouse from The Simpsons saying, like, "Hey guys, can I be a meme?" Or it would be, you know, somebody posting like, "Hey, what if we made Millhouse a meme?" And then people would say Millhouse is not a meme. And I think the point is that you can't just make something a meme. You can't go out of your way and say, today I will start a meme. Like, memes are often a product of something that multiple people find funny or relatable, and multiple people, like, not consciously agreeing to it, but, like, making stuff around it or talking about it. It is more of a accidental thing that happens as a result of a group of people versus somebody as an actor wanting something to be a meme.
Yeah.
There's a selfishness to wanting something to be a meme because it's ultimately saying that your desires are more important than the desires of the community.
Yeah,
memes are communist.
I am such an important individual that I should be able to dictate what the next meme is.
Yes, whereas part of the appeal of memes and meme culture is that it's completely decided by a community of people. There is no single governing body saying what is a meme.
You can't, unlike the real stock market, you can't really inside trade memes all that much.
Yeah.
Like,
and
there are, I feel like, some examples of forced memes, but they also, they're always pump and dumps where they kind of, like, get really big and then immediately die once people realize this is such a stupid forced meme.
Yeah. You know, what's kind of interesting, I remember, this is said often, like, a lot of times in the, I've heard this a lot of times as just trivia, but it's also in the developer commentary for Portal. They did not plan on the cake being a meme, but there was something else they wanted to be a meme. I don't remember what, if it was, like, one of the turrets or something. It wasn't the companion cube either. They didn't expect it to be as popular.
Was this Portal 2?
Portal 1.
For Portal 1.
There was something they wanted to be a meme. Maybe it was Ratman? I don't know. But, like, it goes to show that, like, people will attach to different things, and I think usually if something's trying too hard, it's noticeable. The reason why meme factories get so played out, I think, is because people try to force too many memes. So, like, a lot of the popular German memes were made by people wanting to just make something they thought was funny without trying to make it a meme necessarily. Like, you know, Susface or every serial killer combined. They weren't doing that with the express purpose of those becoming big, just of making a joke.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of times nowadays when there is a new Germa meme, it's somebody who's trying to make it a big meme.
The only one of those I support, by the way, is the one that tried to counter all of the, like, serial killer combined ones with scientists have recreated Alexander the Great of Macedonia and its picture of buff Germa.
Yeah.
That's beside the point.
I like the horror. The horror is really funny. I'm a big fan of the horror. That was a forced meme that I thought was really funny. And I think because of that, like, it's interesting again to note that people don't want memes to be forced. They want them to be natural. And I think that gets me to my last major source of memes I want to mention, which is the franchise memes. How do you feel about sand?
I hate sand.
So this started really with prequel memes.
Yeah.
And it expanded outward to like Raimi memes and Incredibles memes and like now there's like Megamind, and I guess Shrek was really also kind of a source for it, but prequel memes was interesting because it's memes about the Star Wars prequels. But what people found is that they could take pretty much any scene and turn it into a meme template of some sort. It's not just that Palpatine or Anakin is a meme, or Jar Jar, but it's like the sand conversation is a meme, or ironic, or stuff like that.
Yeah.
That prequel memes were used as a way to convey other information that was relatable, but also people reveled in how silly they were.
The difference between a prequel meme and like Bane posting, let's say, is that Bane posting is funny because it is Bane.
Because it's a silly scene.
Yeah. But like prequel memes are function a whole lot more like a auxiliary meme, where it'll be like, my grandparents telling me you're next at weddings, so I start saying it at funerals. Ironic, isn't it?
My favorite's always from Spider-Man in the Raimi memes, which is the I'm something of a scientist myself.
Yes.
Where it's like me as a kid mixing toothpaste and soda together.
Yeah.
And I think what's interesting is that this recognizes that media can be relatable in even the smallest things, but it's also another instance of people recognizing that media itself has become such an important part of our lives that we can relate our own experiences through things we have watched.
Yeah.
Because these have a large audience. So, okay, let me go back a way bit, and say that memes are a form of code or a cipher. They need a way to decrypt them. Because if I just showed you something like, I don't know, even like the distracted boyfriend, it might not make a lot of sense at its face. Like, oh, what are these names? Why does that say me? That's not you. That's not a picture of you. You're much more handsome than that guy.
Aw,
and
thank you.
But by knowing the code, the way to decrypt that information, you get a larger conversation, a larger, dialogue, I guess, or something. And obviously a lot of format memes, a lot of auxiliary memes, mainly the templates and formats and stuff, they kind of have the cipher built into it in like the way the characters are acting or looking or something. But in a prequel meme case, a lot of times it's not necessarily just the fact that, Palpatine says ironic, it's that it's Palpatine saying it.
Yeah.
Or like, something of a scientist myself, he doesn't really look like a scientist, but it's funnier when you know that Norman Osborn is Norman Osborn,
Yeah.
Like, having watched the same movie is part of the experience of making a meme like that and seeing a meme like that, and I think that's pretty interesting in a sort of recognition of the impact movies have.
I feel like another big part of it as well is that, like, it's always, or at the very least, usually always, properties that, like, are not actively, like, going to be used, Yeah. So, like, obviously, with the prequel memes, that's a bit hard to argue because it's Star Wars. But I would argue that, like, we're not really going to get a lot more direct things related to the prequels because the prequels sucked as far as, like, general consensus goes.
A lot of them are things that people had nostalgia for that have considerably ended.
Yeah.
The prequels, they're, 1 through 3 is done. That story with Anakin and Qui-Gon and all that, and Jar Jar, funnier character than we've ever had. That's all done.
Yeah.
The Raimi trilogy of Spider-Man movies is done. We're on Tom Holland now. We technically got, Tim Maguire. No, fucking... What's his name?
Tobey
Maguire back, but that was because of the memes, really.
Yeah.
Megamind, we're not really going to get a new Megamind movie out of DreamWorks, But also, these are things people liked as kids.
Yeah. Honestly, that's another big part is, like, the nostalgia factor, which I think you have already mentioned multiple times.
Probably.
But the nostalgia factor is a massive part of it in that it's like, I have not personally seen the prequels, but I have seen a lot of the memes, and I do recognize, a lot of the scenes and a lot of the figures. Mm-hmm. It's playing, it's in a way that's similar to your Shreks or your Bane posting. It's like playing with action figures, where it's like, hey, I know this one. No, it's like, oh, I know General Grievous, I know Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, even though I haven't seen these movies, I know them, and it's fun to sort of, pick them up and play with them.
Yeah. Prequel memes, I think, are especially interesting because they've kind of died a little bit in terms of overall popularity and presence, but, like, they're still very, very big, and it's really interesting how, like, there's still a huge appeal with them. There's still value to be mined. It isn't about monkeys, by the way. This is not about monkeys. There's still, like, things there. Like, people have made memes out of every scene, but they're still just such good memes because they're relatable and or weird and silly that, like, they're still funny after all these years.
Yeah.
Like, the not just the men, but the women and the children, too. And all the stuff
good.
around that. It's like a stupid scene, but, like, also, like, that's what makes it so endearing.
In terms of the meme economy, like, these are sort of like the old reliable, like, these are the conservative stock, right? Like, these are the ones where you are always going to have a fun use for some kind of prequel meme. There is always going to be in a fight, right? Like, we're always going to have these styles. And, like, if prequel memes disappear off the face of the earth, that doesn't just show, oh, this died. It shows, like, this is a massive shift in tone and, like,
in culture.
Yeah, in culture. Like, genuinely, when prequel memes inevitably completely die out, we will be in a new entire era of memes.
I forgot about the like, Padme asking in a fight.
Yeah.
Like, that is a really recent example of a prequel meme that was new even after this many years.
Yeah.
And gained its own prevalence. Yeah. I don't have a lot else to say, really. I think when we talk about memes on this podcast, in our State of the Memes especially, we talk about them as, like, this is the new thing. Here is why it's the new thing. And I think part of why I really wanted to do this episode as well was that this sort of gives us, not justification, but this gives context to why we look at memes that way. And I know this seems like we've just talked way too much about something silly and stupid, but I genuinely think this is, like, an important facet of modern communication that needs to be studied.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is just a form of communication at this point.
Yeah, people have made entire, like, YouTube careers, kind of, over dissecting various memes. Your Saber Sparks, or that guy who every once in a while pops up and is like, why can't you pee on the floor? So, like, the study of internet memes is a really, like, it's a really rich vein, and it's a really important vein. And what's fun about it, I think, is that you can only really analyze it in the internet. Like, you can certainly take, like, a class over memetics, and you could even take a class that specifically targets, like, internet memes. But I feel like the only way to truly understand them and to truly, like, wrap your mind around the economics of what the meme market is, what's going to be the next big meme, what's going to, flop, what's going to live on, is to truly, like, live the memes, is to don't let your dreams be dreams, and dreams be memes. It's to, like, actually actively take part in the meme economy.
It is a culture.
Yeah.
And you have to be in the culture to understand it the best.
It both reflects culture and is in and of itself culture.
Yeah, when we talk about meme culture, that's what we're talking about, is being a part of the meme world. I don't really know what else to say. I feel like we should have probably organized this a bit better, but I hope this was at least interesting, and we'll probably build on these ideas in future episodes anyways.
Yeah,
This is, like, a nice way to set some terms and then use those terms in the future. Like,
honestly,
we don't have to just talk about Sans as being the funny skeleton. We can say he's a new primary meme.
I like the idea of setting up certain terminology And I also, like, we say, sort of, you know, like, tell us what you think, give us engagement. But, like, I genuinely also want to know, like, what do you, the listeners, TM, think about these terms, think about these things, and, like, you know, shoot us an example and ask us, like, hey, this doesn't, like, fit into this category, you know, like, what would you classify this as? Which is a great way to get into our socials.
Yeah. Also tell us your top 5 memes. I know what my top 2 are, but I don't know about my top 5. But you can tell us that on our Twitter or Facebook at NetSurferPro. I tweet out and message out and post out, not message, but tweet and post, teasers for our upcoming episodes in little emoji form. And you can try to decipher those. It's a little puzzle. I love little puzzles.
Ooh.
Little puzzles. You can also there follow us, get updates on other stuff regarding our works. You can follow us on any podcasting platform you like. You know, give us a like, give us a review. Get notified when episodes go up that way as well. You can follow me on Twitter at MattCraigGaming. I tweet out things I'm working on, little jokes, some memes of my own, some hot takes. And also links to my Twitch at twitch.tv/twack, twitch.tv/twak, where I stream throughout the week. My schedule's been kind of up in the air recently, but I've been streaming a lot of, like, desktop dungeons. I guess I just got finished with La Mulana 2, which was a roller coaster of a game. Fantastic game. Don't recommend. It's really good. Don't need to play it. It's very incredible. Nothing else like it, except maybe Tunic. I also, a little segment I do every week. The first stream of the week is the weekly Shonen Jump, where I talk about this week's weekly Shonen Jump chapters. Listen to my hot takes on PPP.
Isn't that the soundtrack to VVVVV?
It actually is, which is the best part.
Yes.
Or the worst part.
As for me, you can find me at Galen Wilson, both on Twitter and on TikTok. That's at GALENWLS0N. I post my hot takes and sometimes videos of me. You can find me on YouTube at The Only Galen on YouTube. I will have a video up one of these days, I swear. And more importantly, you can find me on Twitch at Machine Gun Vampire, where I think I will actually start streaming things. I kind of want to do a Nuzlocke. I know. It's just going to be, like, low-level things. I want to do just random things that I want to do, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to just do some nice low-level streams. It'll be a cozy time. Come in, say hi, say bye, say whatever you want to say.
Well, yeah, within reason.
I mean, yes. Sorry.
I'm honored you think I'm that funny.
You know what? Actually, no. I trust this audience not to say things that you shouldn't say.
Sure, because they'll get banned.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the worst thing. Or worse, expelled. Alright, see ya.
Bye.